Today, we're going to talk about a monumental shift, a strategic pivot for the entire staffing industry. As strategists here at Nextvert, we see this playing out every single day. It's a fundamental move away from just finding people to actually engineering capacity. This isn't some far-off trend. It is a brand new frontier for growth. And believe me, it is going to redefine your business.
So let's just cut right to the chase with this big, bold statement, because it's the absolute truth. The way things have always been done, the endless hunt for candidates, those long placement cycles, it's just not cutting it anymore. The market is sending a crystal clear signal that a massive change isn't on the horizon. It's already here.
So, okay, why is it breaking? Well, it really boils down to what we call the dual crisis. On one hand, you have the capacity crisis. Your clients, they need 24/7 coverage. They need to be able to scale up at a moment's notice, things a human workforce just can't do. And at the exact same time, you're dealing with an inventory crisis. The specific skills your clients are begging for are either impossible to find or they're not available at the speed or the price point that works. You're basically running a store that's constantly out of stock of its most valuable product, talent.
So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to dig a little deeper into this crisis. Then, we'll introduce the solution, something we call workforce orchestration. After that, I'll show you your new infinite bench of talent. We'll explore a really powerful new financial model, and then wrap up by walking you through the simple steps to deploy your very first digital agent.
Okay, let's dive into that core problem, what we're calling the out-of-stock economy. This is the reality every single staffing agency is up against right now, and it's putting an unbelievable amount of pressure on the old way of doing business. Now, what's so telling here is how this slide just crystallizes the daily headaches. First up, the inventory constraint. Key roles are sitting open for 45 days, sometimes more. That's just lost revenue, plain and simple. Then you've got the margin squeeze. Wages are going up, but your clients are still pushing for lower bill rates, right? And finally, the speed gap. Your clients now operate on Amazon Prime Time. They expect click-to-deploy speed. A 3-week hiring cycle? That feels like an eternity now. It's becoming obsolete.
Look, a crisis like this demands more than just a small tweak. It demands a full-on strategic pivot. And that's exactly why we're introducing Workforce Orchestration. This is a fundamental mindset shift, moving away from just finding people and moving toward engineering capacity for your clients.
And this slide, this just illustrates that change in identity perfectly. Over on the left, you've got the old model, the staffing provider, who's really just bridging a gap. But on the right, that's the future, the workforce orchestrator. You are no longer just a placer of people. You are now a strategist, configuring and deploying both human and digital capital. This puts you in a much more strategic and powerful position in your client relationships.
So this digital capital we're talking about, it takes the form of your new infinite bench. And let's be clear, this isn't just a small upgrade. It is a completely new category of worker you can start placing for your clients, like tomorrow. So what exactly is the infinite bench? Well, think of it as an elastic, always-on, always-ready workforce of autonomous AI agents. It's completely unconstrained by geography, by population, by time zones. For all practical purposes, your inventory of available talent is now bottomless.
Now, to really wrap your head around the scale here, you have to understand the difference between a role and an instance. A role is like the blueprint. It's the pre-trained job profile for, say, a director of sales. We've got over 30 of these specialized roles ready to go. An instance, on the other hand, is the actual active worker you deploy to a client. And here's the magic. From one single role, you can create or spawn an unlimited number of instances.
Let's put a number on that to make it really hit home. From just one Catalyst sales director role, you could deploy 500 unique individual instances to 500 different clients, all at the exact same time, with each one working completely independently. I mean, that is a level of scale that was just science fiction with human capital. So, who's actually on this digital roster? Well, let's meet the team. At the very top, in the strategy layer, we have Maestro. You can think of Maestro as a digital co-CEO. Its whole job is to orchestrate the other agents and make sure all their work is perfectly aligned to hit the company's biggest KPIs. And right below Maestro, you've got your management layer, your digital C-suite, if you will. You've got Fiducia for finance, who can automate billing, Catalyst for sales, running entire campaigns, Nexus for operations, and Lex for legal. And these guys integrate seamlessly with the platforms you already know, like Salesforce, NetSuite, and HubSpot.
And then you have the execution team, the boots on the ground. We call them the specialist core. This is where you have over 30 task-specific roles ready for immediate deployment. We're talking about those high-volume, high-turnover positions like outbound SDRs, Tier 1 support, and data entry. And get this, these agents speak over 30 languages. They can handle literally thousands of tasks at the same time, and they are on the clock 24/7, 365.
Now, what's absolutely crucial here is that the onboarding is practically instant. It's a dead simple three-step process. Step 1, the agent connects to the client's existing tech stack. Step 2, it ingests all their standard operating procedures directly from their knowledge base. And step 3, it just starts working. We are shrinking the time to productivity from weeks or even months down to mere minutes.
Okay, so you can place them in a flash, which is awesome, but let's talk about the money. How does this actually work for your agency's bottom line? This is where we get into the 5D payout model, which is all about helping you capture value way beyond a single one-time placement fee.
Because at the end of the day, this is the question that really matters, isn't it? What is the actual tangible economic impact for your agency? Here it is. This is a multidimensional, compounding revenue model. It's not just one and done. You earn from the initial expansion. That's the placement. You get recurring revenue from elevation every time a client upgrades. You get healthy margins on integration and setup. You even earn based on usage volume. And on top of all that, you can charge high-value consulting fees to help clients design their new agent workflows.
Okay, now this slide. Honestly, this is the pitch that closes the deals. Just take a second and look at the staggering difference in the unit economics. An entry-level human placement, that costs a client over $65,000 a year for about 40 hours of work a week. A Nextvert digital placement costs them around $6,000 for 168 hours a week of productive output. The value proposition here is it's undeniable. And what this all boils down to is an incredibly potent, incredibly simple line you can take directly to your clients. You can walk into any meeting and say, we can lower your operating expenses by 90% while increasing your output capacity by a factor of 10. Let me tell you, that is a conversation every single CEO and CFO in the country is ready to have right now. All right, the value is clear. The financial model is a home run. So the final question is, how do you actually get started? We've laid out a really simple, totally secure, and structured path to get you deploying your very first agent. First and foremost, let's talk trust, because we know your reputation is everything. Our agents operate with something called Guardrails AI. That means they stick to strict, predefined protocols, no going rogue. They have a human-in-the-loop design built right in, so they know how to collaborate and when to escalate tricky situations to your client's team. And of course, they meet full compliance standards like TCPA, HIPAA, and SOC 2. And here is the simple, low-risk plan to get you up and running. In week 1, you get access to our Digital Headhunter portal so you can see the entire inventory for yourself. In week 2, we'll help you launch a small, controlled pilot with just 3 of your existing trusted clients. And by week 4, we'll run a quick 60-minute enablement workshop for your recruiters. It really is that straightforward to get started. So let's just end on this final thought, because it truly reframes the entire mission of your industry. The future isn't about the search anymore. It's all about the solution. It's time to stop looking for candidates and start deploying them. Your infinite bench is ready.